Elon Musk, the man who refused to be normal. The world often celebrates success, but it rarely understands the cost behind it. When people hear the name Elon Musk, they think of billions of dollars, rockets landing themselves, electric cars, and headlines that never stop. But very few truly understand who Elon Musk is, where he came from, and why he lives the way he does. This is not just the story of the richest man in the world. This is the story of obsession, isolation, pain, risk, failure, and a relentless belief in the future. Elon Musk is not driven by money. He is driven by fear, the fear that humanity might not survive. Elon Reeve Musk was born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa. From the outside, his childhood looked normal. From the inside, it was anything but. Elon was a quiet child, deeply introverted, and completely lost in his own thoughts. He struggled to fit in, struggled to communicate, and struggled to understand the social world around him. School was not a safe place. He was bullied relentlessly. One incident left him hospitalized after a group of boys pushed him down a flight of stairs and beat him unconscious. While other children played outside, Elon escaped into books. Science fiction became his refuge. He didn't just read stories. He studied them, analyzed them, and imagined himself inside them. By the age of 9, he had read the Encyclopedia Britannica. By 12, he had taught himself computer programming and created a video game called Blastar, which he sold for $500. That moment was not about money. It was proof that he could build something from nothing. From a very young age, Elon asked dangerous questions. Why are we here? What happens if humanity fails? How do we avoid extinction? These questions would later define his entire life. At 17, Elon made a decision that would change everything. He left South Africa, partly to avoid mandatory military service, but more importantly, because he believed that the future was being built somewhere else. He moved to Canada with almost nothing. No safety net, no connections. Just an unshakable belief that he had to get to America. Life was hard. He worked odd jobs, lived cheaply, and pushed forward. Eventually, he made it to the United States and studied physics and economics. He briefly enrolled at Stanford University for a PhD. 2 days later, he quit. Not because he couldn't do it, but because the internet revolution had begun. Elon believed that history does not wait for permission. His first company, Zip2, was built with his brother in a small office where Elon often slept on the floor. He coded nonstop. He showered at public gyms. He survived on cheap food. When Zip2 was sold, Elon received $22 million. For most people, that would have been the finish line. For Elon Musk, it was only the beginning. He poured nearly all of that money into his next idea, X.com, an online financial services company. This would later become PayPal. The idea was revolutionary. Digital money, instant transfers, no banks in between. Many thought it was insane. Internal conflicts led to Elon being removed as CEO. It would have destroyed most people. Instead, Elon stayed focused on the mission. When PayPal was sold to eBay, Elon walked away with $180 million. At this moment, Elon Musk could have retired forever. He was young, rich, free. Instead, he made the most dangerous decision of his life. He decided to spend almost all his money on 2 ideas everyone said were impossible: electric cars and space rockets. He invested in Tesla, a small electric car startup that was burning cash and fighting skepticism from the entire auto industry. At the same time, he founded SpaceX with the goal of making space travel affordable and eventually making humanity a multi-planetary species. Failure came quickly. Rockets exploded. Money disappeared. Tesla nearly collapsed. SpaceX failed 3 launches in a row. Each failure cost millions. The media mocked him. Investors laughed. Experts called him delusional. By 2008, Elon Musk was almost bankrupt. Tesla and SpaceX were both weeks away from collapse. His personal life was falling apart. Stress was overwhelming. Then, everything came down to one final launch. If SpaceX failed again, it was over. The rocket launched, and it worked. That single success saved SpaceX. Soon after, NASA awarded SpaceX a massive contract. Tesla survived just long enough to recover. Against all odds, Elon Musk had escaped total failure by a matter of weeks. Tesla would later become the most valuable car company in the world. Not because it makes cars, but because it redefined what a car could be. Software, batteries, autonomy, energy. Tesla forced the entire industry to follow. SpaceX changed space forever. Reusable rockets, lower costs, faster innovation. What governments could not do in decades, SpaceX did in years. Elon Musk proved that private companies could lead humanity into space. But Elon didn't stop there. Neuralink, a company aiming to connect the human brain directly to computers. Starlink, a global satellite internet network. The Boring Company, reinventing transportation underground. And then, the most controversial move of all, buying Twitter, later renamed X. To critics, Elon Musk is reckless. To supporters, he is a visionary. To himself, he is simply doing what he believes must be done. Elon Musk works insane hours, often over 100 hours a week. He sleeps in factories. He eats simply. He owns very little. He once said he sold most of his possessions to focus entirely on his mission. That mission is survival. Elon believes humanity must become multi-planetary, that artificial intelligence must be controlled, that energy must be sustainable, that technology must move faster than bureaucracy. He is not motivated by comfort. He is motivated by urgency. Love him or hate him, Elon Musk has already altered the trajectory of human history, not through permission, not through tradition, but through refusal. Refusal to accept limits. Refusal to follow rules that made no sense. Refusal to be normal. And perhaps that is the real lesson of Elon Musk. The future does not belong to the smartest, it belongs to the bold. Elon Musk's mindset is often misunderstood. Many people assume his confidence comes from ego, but those who have worked closely with him describe something different. They describe a man driven by urgency, someone who believes time is humanity's most limited resource. Elon does not think in years or decades. He thinks in centuries. He asks questions most people avoid because they sound too big, too unrealistic, or too uncomfortable. What happens if Earth becomes uninhabitable? What happens if artificial intelligence surpasses human control? What happens if innovation slows down? To Elon Musk, these are not philosophical questions. They are engineering problems. This way of thinking explains why he accepts levels of stress and criticism that would break most people. Elon Musk has been called arrogant, unstable, reckless, and dangerous. Every major project he has touched has faced resistance. When Tesla started gaining attention, critics said electric cars would never replace gasoline. When SpaceX began landing rockets vertically, experts said it was impossible. When Starlink launched thousands of satellites, people said it was irresponsible. Yet again and again, reality proved stronger than opinion. But success did not make Elon's life easier. In many ways, it made it harder. As Tesla and SpaceX grew, Elon's personal life became increasingly chaotic. Relationships failed, marriages ended. Long work hours left little space for balance. Elon himself admitted that running multiple companies nearly destroyed him emotionally and physically. There were moments when he slept on factory floors, showered at work, and survived on minimal rest for weeks at a time. He once said, "Nobody should put this much stress on themselves. I don't know if people would want to be in my position." And yet, he continues. One reason is responsibility. Elon Musk believes that once you see a problem clearly, you are morally obligated to act. He believes that knowledge creates duty. This belief explains why he reinvests nearly everything back into his companies instead of living a luxurious lifestyle. At one point, he publicly stated that he owned no house and was living in temporary accommodations. For Elon, wealth is not freedom. Purpose is. This mindset also explains his complicated relationship with fame. Elon Musk is one of the most recognizable people on Earth, yet he often seems uncomfortable with public attention. Social media became his unfiltered outlet. On platforms like Twitter, now X, he speaks directly, sometimes impulsively, sometimes controversially. These moments have cost him billions in stock value, legal trouble, and public backlash, but Elon refuses to be managed. He believes that authenticity, even when messy, is better than silence. This belief has earned him both loyal supporters and fierce enemies. Some see him as a defender of free speech. Others see him as irresponsible. Elon seems unconcerned with either label. To him, debate is part of progress. The acquisition of Twitter was one of the most polarizing decisions of his career. Many believed it was a mistake. Advertisers left, employees resigned, chaos followed, yet Elon argued that digital communication platforms are too powerful to be controlled by a small group without accountability. Whether history will judge this decision as visionary or flawed remains to be seen. What cannot be denied is consistency. Elon Musk consistently chooses difficulty over comfort, risk over safety, long-term survival over short-term approval. This is also evident in his views on artificial intelligence. While many tech leaders race to develop AI as fast as possible, Elon has repeatedly warned about its dangers. He compares uncontrolled AI development to summoning a demon. At the same time, he invests in AI companies, believing that understanding and guiding the technology is safer than ignoring it. To outsiders, this looks contradictory. To Elon, it is preparation. He believes the future will be shaped whether humanity is ready or not. His goal is not to stop progress, but to steer it. As SpaceX continues its mission toward Mars, Elon's vision becomes clearer. He does not see Mars as an escape plan for the rich. He sees it as a backup for civilization, a second chance, a safeguard against extinction. This idea sounds extreme, but history shows that progress has always sounded extreme before becoming normal. At one time, flight was impossible. At one time, electricity was dangerous. At one time, the internet was unnecessary. Elon Musk places himself intentionally at the edge of what sounds insane, because that is where breakthroughs happen. Yet, despite everything he has achieved, Elon Musk does not describe himself as happy. He describes himself as driven. Fulfilled by work, but constantly aware of how much remains undone. His life is not a story of balance. It is a story of obsession, and that obsession has a cost. But it also has a consequence: change. Today, electric vehicles are mainstream. Reusable rockets are the industry standard. Private companies lead space exploration. Satellite internet connects remote parts of the world. All of these realities exist because one person refused to accept the limits of his time. Elon Musk's story is uncomfortable because it challenges the idea that success should be peaceful. His life suggests that meaning often comes from struggle, and progress often comes from pressure. He is not a role model in the traditional sense. He is a case study in what happens when intelligence meets obsession, when vision meets sacrifice, and when fear of failure is outweighed by fear of doing nothing. The story of Elon Musk is still being written. His greatest successes or his greatest failures may still lie ahead. History will decide how he is remembered. As a hero, a disruptor, a warning, or a pioneer. But one truth is already clear. The future is not shaped by those who wait. It is shaped by those who act, even when the world tells them they are wrong. And Elon Musk has never been afraid of being wrong. He has only ever been afraid of being irrelevant to the future. That is why his story continues to matter. Elon Musk reminds us that changing the world is not about being fearless. It is about moving forward despite the fear. It is about choosing purpose over peace, vision over validation, and impact over ease. Whether his ideas succeed or fail in the long run, his mindset has already left a mark on humanity. He forced industries to evolve. He forced governments to react, and he forced people to think bigger. The story of Elon Musk teaches us one final lesson. If you want a different future, you must be willing to live differently. And with that, this chapter closes.